Hey guys, well, today it is a very windy day. It is so windy it actually knocked over the ladder because my dad's been picking pecans, and yeah, definitely a really nice day, about 75 degrees out, and then that will soon change probably by the middle of the week. And Thursday it's actually supposed to get below freezing, so it'll actually be our first freeze for this season. And so I'm kind of in the process of winterizing some of the lawn equipments, but before I get to them I want to go ahead and winterize the pressure washer, just for that specific reason, since it's supposed to get below freezing. And so this video will be on how to put your pressure washer away for the winter time. I'll just show you just on getting it prepped for the winter with the engine as well as the pump. So if your pressure washer still has gas in it though, what you could do is put some fuel stabilizer in it, like this Startron right here, which to me this is probably the best fuel stabilizer that there is. So just read the directions on the back and just add the amount that's in your pressure washer, and then just run your pressure washer for about 5 minutes at least. Just that way you can get the stabilizer all circulated into the carburetor. Or what you can do, which is one of my preferred methods, is simply just run your pressure washer until it just runs out of gas. Or if you don't want to do that, if you have a siphon pump, you can simply siphon the gas out with a simple siphon pump. Or if you have a turkey baster, which those work really good too, and just get it all out. And with whatever gas that's left in through the fuel lines in the carburetor, just run the pressure washer until it simply runs out of gas. And here is another preferred method of mine, which is my highly preferred method, is run a fuel that has no ethanol in it, like this VP small engine fuel, ethanol free or cycle fuel, which is what I'm currently running in this pressure washer, which that way you don't really have to worry about just letting it run until it just runs out of gas. You can basically, it's okay, you can just leave it how it is, because this fuel here has got a 2-year shelf life on it, so you don't really have to worry about that. Sometimes, now if your pressure washer's got a fuel shutoff valve, what you can do, you can simply turn the fuel valve off, and then just run the machine to just burn all the remaining gas through the fuel line and then the carburetor. And so once you've let your pressure washer run out of gas, just let the engine cool for a little bit, and what we will need to do is have to take the spark plug out and then fog the engine. And just soon after you ran your pressure washer out of gas, go ahead and turn the water off, and then just squeeze the trigger on the gun just to get any of the excess water out. So that probably should be enough. I can go ahead and just disconnect the garden hose to the pump. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just remove this one to the spray gun. And by having the spray gun up like this, I'm going to just squeeze the trigger just to get any excess water out of the hose. And as you can see, there's more water coming out. You want to get as much water out as possible, and especially out of the pump, because little bits of it could actually freeze and it could do some damage to your pump. So try to get as much water out as you can. Once you think you've gotten all the water out of the hoses, go ahead and disconnect the hose on the gun. Okay. And then once again, just have the gun like this, and then squeeze the trigger. That way, to ensure that there's no more water in it. And looks like it is completely dry. If your pressure washer does have a soap tank like this one does, you want to actually go and drain it, which in this case, actually I don't really have very much in there. So basically, it's practically all you got to do is just this hose here is just disconnect it to the pump. And it's hard for me to do this one-handed, so I'm going to need two hands to do this. Or you can also just disconnect that hose from the tank, just like that. And apparently there wasn't very much. It all didn't quite come out. So yeah, that's about the amount that's left in there. I'll probably just let this all just drain right out, since there's not very much in there. I know it's kind of a waste, but oh well. That way to ensure that there won't be no more leftover soap for it to all freeze. And one thing about these soaps for pressure washers, they are biodegradable, so it won't do no harm to the environment. Yeah, so this one, so it's emptied. So you can go ahead and just get your hose connected. Also, what you can do to ensure that you think you've gotten all the water out of the pump is actually crank the engine about 6 times. Make sure the switch is in the off position. So we'll do that. Okay, so now I'm going to tip the machine back, and you can see a bit more water just came right out. So I think that should be good enough, and that there's no more water and soap out of this. So this looks to be all perfectly dried. Alright, so once you let your engine cool off, you can go ahead and take the spark plug out. So just remove the boot. Okay, there we go. And then remove the plug. And I believe this is a 13/16 socket, deep socket. We'll take the plug out. Well, that one is pretty stiff. There we go. And also, while we have the plug out, we'll check it and see how it looks. Okay. Put the camera in macro. So this is a NGK spark plug. It is a BPR6ES. So this is actually the exact same spark plug that the Craftsman mower uses, and that spark plug is absolutely perfect. So take our engine fogger, or in this case I'm using Deep Creep made by Seafoam, which is actually it's Seafoam in an aerosol can, which it also works for fogging engines too. Yeah, I don't know if it'll say it on here, but it does work, which I have used this on fogging engines. So we'll just put it in there and just hold it for about a couple seconds. Okay. So with the plug still out, I'm just gonna slowly just rotate the turn the engine over just a couple times. Alright, that should be good. Now you can just go ahead and reconnect your spark plug. Try and get this in here. And once you hand tighten your plug, then just tighten it up. Not too tight. That's just good enough. And then reconnect your boot onto the plug until you hear that click. And once after you've done all that, don't start the engine, because you want to leave all that Deep Creep or fog oil into the cylinder to help keep it lubricated throughout the winter months, just to prevent any rust, corrosion, and possibly engine season too. Alright, so now the engine, it's all ready for the winter. So now get the pump all ready now. So all the water's out of it. So now what we got to do is take some pump saver right here, which is made by Briggs & Stratton, that you can get at either Lowe's or Home Depot. And this is the part number for it. It's 6039. And it doesn't matter, it can work on any brand of pressure washer. It doesn't have to be a Briggs & Stratton, which in this case, this one's a Honda. So let me get my camera on the tripod. So on this connector here on the pump saver, you want to connect it on this fitting right here, where you would connect the garden hoses onto the pump. So we will do that. And just get it snugged on there, not too tight. Then just pop that open, and then we'll hit the trigger, and then just hold on this until you start seeing foam coming out of the pump. So we will do that. Alright, so that's what we want. So that means now that the foam has now made its way into the pump, and so that's practically all that you need. And you don't have to use up this entire can of pump saver. You can at least use it for another time. So now go ahead and get this disconnected. Okay. If your pressure washer came with one of these little caps like mine did, this goes to this right here. that'll sort of help keep all the pump saver into the pump. And also what you could do, you can give the engine just one little crank, which that way to ensures that the pump saver, ensures that it's made its way all the way into the pump. That's just all you gotta do. And so that about does it. So the pressure washer is just all winterized now. So now I'll roll up the hoses and I'll get the gun put back on. Alright, so got the hoses all rolled up. So now the pressure washer is now all winterized. So that's all there is to it on winterizing a pressure washer. And so I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And so thanks for watching.